The old mining moon was quiet, too quiet. Dust floated in the thin air. Lights blinked weakly on half-dead machines. A single ship landed on the metal pad, its engines hissing with heat. Dane Keller stepped out. He wore a black coat and dark glasses. He was a human smuggler, tough, careful, and always looking for the next big profit. His AI companion, Pix, spoke from his wrist communicator. "This place is not safe. Dane, scanners show life signs, but too weak. I don't like this." Dane smirked. "Relax, Pix. We just collect payment and leave." He walked into the dark building nearby. Inside, an alien named Rix waited. Rix had 6 eyes and a long neck. He dealt in black market goods, weapons, tech, even slaves. Rix smiled, showing sharp yellow teeth. "You are late, human." "I brought the cargo," Dane said, dropping a heavy box on the floor. "Now give me my credits." Rix tapped a device. "There is a small problem." Dane narrowed his eyes. "Don't play games." "No games," Rix said quickly. "I have no credits. But I have something better." A door opened. A girl stepped out. She looked 20, humanoid, pale skin, silver eyes, long dark hair. A metal collar was around her neck. Rix said, "She's a rare catch. High-class alien, very valuable. More than your usual payment." Dane frowned. "I don't deal in people." "She's not a person," Rix whispered. "She's a tool, a machine. A failed experiment." The girl looked at Dane. Her eyes were calm but cold. Pix spoke again. "Dane, this is a bad idea. She doesn't match any known species. No ID, no data." Rix laughed. "Exactly. She's one of a kind. Sell her or keep her. She won't talk. She won't fight." Dane hesitated. He needed that payment. He had fuel to buy, supplies to refill. Time was short. He looked at the girl again. She said nothing, just stared. "Fine," Dane said. "Deal." Back on his ship, Dane locked the girl in a small room. He walked to the cockpit. Pix's voice followed him. "I still don't trust her. She's quiet." "That's better than screaming," Dane replied. But something felt wrong. She hadn't spoken once. She hadn't asked anything. Not even for food or water. As the ship jumped into hyperspace, Dane checked the systems. "PIX, run a deep scan on the girl." "I tried. Her body blocks most of the scan." "Strange energy detected. Not human, not machine." "Keep watching her," Dane said. Hours passed. Dane went to the cargo room. The girl was sitting silently. Her hands were in her lap. Her eyes were closed. He knocked on the metal wall. "Hey, got a name?" No answer. "I'm Dane. You're lucky I'm not like that freak who gave you away. You'll be safe here." Still no answer. He sighed. "Can you talk?" The girl slowly opened her eyes. She stared at him, then spoke in perfect English. "Can you listen?" Dane froze. "You speak English?" She stood up, calm, no fear in her movement. "I speak every language. I had to. When your kind sold my people, we learned everything about you." Dane took a step back. "Sold? What are you talking about?" She smiled. But it wasn't warm. "I'm not a slave, Dane. I'm a warning." Suddenly, the lights in the room blinked. Alarms started to beep. "Pix, what's going on?" "Dane shouted. Pix replied. She just bypassed 3 security locks. From inside the room, Dane reached for his weapon. The girl didn't move. "You're afraid now," she said. "But I'm not here to hurt you. Not yet." "Then why are you here?" he asked. She stepped forward. "To finish what your people started, and to stop what's coming." Before he could respond, she touched the metal wall. It glowed. A symbol appeared, not human, not alien. Something ancient. Dane had seen that symbol once before. In a secret file. It belonged to the overseers, the most feared empire in the galaxy. He whispered, "Who are you?" The girl smiled again, this time with a trace of sadness. "You'll know soon, but by then it might be too late." Silence. That's what Dane heard when he entered the control deck. No humming from the engine. No chatter from his AI, Pix. No. Lights blinking on the dashboard. Dead silence. Then, click. The ship's lights snapped back on. "Pix?" Dane called out. A second passed. Then the AI's voice returned, slow, almost confused. I'm here. But something interfered with my system. A power spike, very advanced, came from her room. Dane didn't like this. He had taken strange jobs before, dangerous deals. But this girl, Zara, was different. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't crying. She was watching, learning, waiting. And now she had touched something she wasn't supposed to. Dane stood outside the locked door. He had sealed it. Triple locks. No access to the main systems. He knocked once. No answer. He knocked again. This time, the door unlocked itself. The girl, Zara, sat cross-legged on the floor, calm, peaceful, almost like she belonged there. "How did you open that door?" Dane asked. She tilted her head. "It was never locked for me." Dane kept his distance. "Look, whatever your game is, I'm not part of it. I just want to drop you off at the next trade station." Zara slowly stood. "You don't get it, do you?" Dane raised his weapon. "Try me." Zara didn't move, but her voice was firm. "You think I'm just a slave, a product, but I'm more human than the people who sold me." Pix buzzed in his ear. "Dane, listen carefully. I just found something." "What now?" Dane asked, eyes still locked. "On the girl, she's not on any official slave registry. No DNA record, no neural tag, but she has a trace signal. It matches Overseer tech." Dane blinked. "Overseer?" Pix whispered. And Dane, "That signal was used for weapons, not people." A cold chill passed through Dane. He turned to Zara. "What are you?" She looked at him, straight into his soul. "I am the last result of your mistake," she said. "You humans made a deal with monsters. I'm here to undo that." Without warning, she stepped past him. Dane moved to stop her, but she was fast. Not just fast, unnatural. She walked to the cockpit and placed her hand on the glass. Outside, stars floated like fireflies. But then, one of them moved. Pix shouted, "Ship approaching fast. No ID, no beacon. Looks like a Predator class. Overseer build." Dane jumped into the pilot's seat. "Weapons online?" "No, they're offline." She disabled them. He turned to Zara. "You did this?" She nodded. "If you fired first, they would have destroyed us. Now they'll watch and follow." "Why would they follow us?" Zara turned her head slightly. "Because I'm not the only one who escaped." Dane pulled hard on the controls. His ship dipped low, diving through asteroid debris. The unmarked ship followed, silent as death. Pix tried to reroute power. "Shields at 60%. Weapons offline. I can give you thrusters, but we can't fight." Dane gritted his teeth. "We don't fight. We run." Zara looked at the unmarked ship, her voice soft. "They don't want to catch us. They want to see where I go. They want me to lead them." "Lead them where?" Dane asked. "To the others," she whispered. Hours later, they entered deep space. No signal, no noise. The enemy ship stopped following. Dane sat back, breathing hard. He looked at Zara. "What's really going on?" She finally answered. "There were many like me. Experiments, slaves, weapons. Some didn't survive. Some changed. And you?" I remember who I was, she said, before the collar. Before the chains. I was a leader, a queen. My. People trusted me. Then your kind handed us to the overseers. To save Earth. Dane didn't speak, because deep inside, he knew it was true that there were rumors. Secret peace treaties. Strange tech from nowhere. Earth had traded something long ago to survive. Zara continued, they erased us, burned our cities, caged our children. But some of us still breathe. Dane leaned forward. What do you want from me? She looked at him, no hate in her eyes. Just purpose. I want you to remember, she said. Because when this ends, when your planet burns, you'll have to choose. Protect your kind or redeem them. Suddenly, Pix buzzed again. Dane, we have a problem. A second ship just dropped out of hyperspace. Human signature. But no friendly code. Zara's eyes darkened. They've found us again. Dane stood up. Who? The overseers? No, Zara said. The humans who work for them. Dark space surrounded the ship like a silent ocean. The stars were still. The enemy ships not. Dane's screen showed two vessels now. One was alien, black, sharp, cold. The other was human, but something was wrong with it. Pix, confirm. That signature, Dane said, gripping the flight stick. Pix replied with unease. Yes, human-built, old Earth design, but upgraded. The core is not human. Zara stood behind Dane, calm like always. That ship is no longer yours. It belongs to them now. Dane turned to her. You mean the overseers? Zara nodded. Slowly. The humans on that ship made their choice, long ago. The enemy vessels didn't fire. They just hovered, waiting. Suddenly, a message. No voice. No words. Just a cold, mechanical tone played over the comm. Beep, beep, beep. Then silence. What was that? Dane asked. Zhar. It didn't blink. A countdown. Dane slammed the controls. Pix, get us out of here now. Already charging hyperspace, Pix said, but it needs 30 seconds. Dane cursed. Go fire before that. The lights flickered again. The ship's engine coughed. Systems slowed down like something was pulling them. Dane stared at the screens. They're jamming us. Zara stepped forward, her voice low. Let me help. Dane looked at her. What can you do? She touched the dashboard. Instantly. The ship shuddered. The lights turned white-blue. The walls hummed with new power. Dane could hear it. Something inside the ship had woken up. Pix shouted, shocked. What did she just do? I've never seen these systems activate. Zara didn't move. Her eyes glowed faint silver now. I unlocked the rest of your ship? The part the overseers didn't want you to use. Dane was stunned. How do you even know this tech? Zara smiled faintly. Because your ship was built using our stolen machines. The human alien ship suddenly launched a missile. It spiraled toward them like a burning comet. Pix screamed, brace for impact. Zara raised one hand. Dane barely saw it, but the ship dodged by itself. No controls moved. No engine fired. Just a sudden side shift, like space had bent. Dane looked at her, breathless. You just piloted the ship with your mind. Zara didn't deny it. Another missile fired. Then a third. Zara's hand opened. Fingers SPLAYED. This time. The missile stopped mid-space. Frozen. And then turned around. Boom. Both enemy ships were hit, not destroyed, but shaken. Dane stared, jaw tight. You're not a weapon. Zara looked at him. I am a memory, she said, of what your world tried to erase. Pix beeped. Hyperspace is ready. Dane took the seat. Coordinates? Zara leaned in. Go to the edge of the dead zone. Pix protested. That area is off limits. Ancient tech. Ghost signals. Forbidden by Earth command. Dane grinned. Perfect. He hit the switch. The ship shot into hyperspace. Stars stretched. Time twisted. And then call on silence. They were out. In the dark side of the galaxy. No suns. No light. Just a dead blue planet floating in space. Dane turned to her. What is this place? Zara stared out the glass. My home. She walked to the cargo bay. Dane followed, slower now, careful. Inside, she opened a secret box he didn't even know existed in his ship. Inside it, a small silver cube, glowing, humming with life. Zara lifted it. This is why they chased me, she whispered. Not for what I am, but for what I carry. Dane asked, what's in it? She answered without fear. The map to every human lie. Suddenly, Pix screamed, incoming. They followed us through hyperspace. Dane froze. How? That shouldn't be possible. Zara's voice was calm. They marked you when you touched me. Outside, the overseer ship arrived, only one this time. Bigger, sharper. It didn't wait this time. It fired. Dane reached for controls. But the ship was locked. Zara. What are you doing? Her eyes glowed again. I told you, Dane, she said. I'm not here to be owned. I'm here to lead. The ship spun, danced through the beam. Zara raised the cube. Let me show you who the real enemy is. The cube pulsed once. Outside, the enemy ship stopped moving. Just frozen in space. Dane stared. You froze it? Zara looked at him, sad and strong. No, I reminded it who made it. The frozen ship drifted outside the window, still glowing. Still deadly, but UNMOVING. Inside the cockpit, no one spoke. Dane watched it in silence. The ship didn't explode. It didn't chase. It just stopped, like it was sleeping. Or waiting. He turned to Zara. Her silver eyes were still bright, but her hands trembled. That ship, Dane said slowly, was seconds from killing us. Zara didn't answer. She placed the silver cube on the control panel. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Then the lights dimmed. Screens across the ship flickered to life. Not star maps, not diagnostics. Memories. A video began to play. It wasn't from Earth. The colors were too sharp. The language too smooth. It showed a world, green skies, crystal towers, and tall beings with pale blue skin. Zora's people. Peaceful. Beautiful. Powerful. And then Earth ships arrived. Gray metal. Sharp wings. Guns, drones, flags. The audio changed. Now a human voice. The overseers offer peace. In exchange, your technology will serve greater protection. Zara said nothing. Dane stared. Another clip. Soldiers shaking hands. Overseer. Commanders behind them. Another clip. Zara, younger, standing on a balcony. Behind her, fire, explosions, screaming. Another clip. Cages, chains, children. All pale blue. Dane shut the screen off. He looked shaken. We did this? He asked. Zara spoke softly. Not you, but your kind. Long ago, your leaders made a trade. My people, for your survival. Dane stood. No, that's not possible. Earth never. You think history books tell the truth? Zara interrupted. You think your galaxy maps are complete? You were protected, hidden from the war. What war? Zara turned toward the window. Outside, the enemy ship was starting to flicker back to life. She whispered, the secret war. She walked into the back room. Dane followed. She opened a small storage panel, a hidden vault. Inside it, broken weapons, old codes, and a datapad with one symbol burned in. Dane knew that mark. A star inside a triangle. Earth command. Zara held it up. Your commanders used overseer tools, ships, tech, everything. They didn't build your defense force, they were gifted it. Dane felt his stomach turn. So Earth didn't win the war. It just bought time. Zara nodded. And the price was us. Pix beeped sharply. Dane, bad news. That frozen ship is recharging. 3 more just appeared on long-range scan. We're trapped. Dane stepped toward the controls. We can run again. No, Zara said. We can't keep running. Not anymore. He looked at her, desperate. Then what? What's the plan? She lifted the silver cube. We wake up the weapon your people buried. Outside the dead blue planet, shadows moved. Below, deep beneath the surface, the old city of Zara's kind slept. Tall towers, broken, buried under ash and time. Machines still pulsed beneath the stone. Dane hovered the ship above a crater. Landing. Might crush the hull. Pix warned. Zara placed her hand on the panel. The ground opened. The ship lowered itself slowly, no shaking, no damage, as if the planet remembered her. They stepped outside. It was quiet, cold. The air hummed with static energy. Dane looked around. This place, it's ancient. Zara walked ahead. It's not ancient, it's home. They reached a giant door made of black stone. No keyhole. No handle. Zara placed her hand in the center. The stone glowed. Then it melted. Inside, a round chamber. In the center, a large machine, part throne, part console. She walked to it and sat. The throne lit up. Pix buzzed with confusion. That's not just a machine. That's a living system. It's responding to her biology. Zara connected the cube to it. A deep hum shook the ground. The throne came alive. Dane took a step back. What are you activating? Zara looked up at him, her voice almost human. A signal. Won the overseer's fear. When they silenced for centuries. What kind of signal? Zara smiled, not with joy, but defiance. A call to every rebel, every broken ship, every forgotten weapon across the stars. A call to the ones they tried to erase. Above, the enemy ships started descending. Alarms rang. Pix shouted, Dane! 5 ships inbound. Seconds away. Dane looked at her. We need to leave. Zara didn't move. Her hands pressed into the throne. The signal must finish. If I stop now, the memory dies again. Dane hesitated, then turned and aimed every weapon on his ship at the sky. Overhead. The first shots rained down. Dane fired back, but he knew it wouldn't be enough. Unless that signal worked. Unless those ghosts she spoke of were real. Then light. From the dark edges of the planet, dozens of ships rose. Broken ships. Rebel ships. Old, forgotten war machines. Some barely flew, but they answered the call. They came. Zara opened her eyes. They remember. Smoke drifted across the battlefield sky. Above the dead world, fire danced between ships. Old rebels, ancient drones, and black overseer destroyers. The battle had begun. Dane stood at the top of a broken tower, wind cutting across his face. His blaster was hot in his hand. He had fired more in the last 10 minutes than in his entire smuggling career, and it wasn't over. Zara stood beside him. Her long hair moved like shadow in the dust storm air. Her silver eyes focused only on the sky. They're bringing in heavies, Dane said. I saw a carrier-class ship enter orbit. That's not patrol. That's invasion. Zara said. Nothing. She placed a small crystal in her hand, whispered to it, and let it fly upward. It shot into the clouds, a signal, a warning, or maybe a goodbye. Pix buzzed in Dane's earpiece. Dane, I don't like what I just decoded. Go on. Remember that data core Zara plugged into the throne last episode? I decrypted more of it. It wasn't just memories of her people. It held classified Earth files. Dane felt his stomach tighten. How classified? Level Omega. Highest. Hidden even from the Central Council. Show me. A hologram opened. It showed Earth's flag, then a document titled Operation. Blue silence. Zara turned to him. You weren't supposed to see that yet. Dane looked at her, face pale. You knew? You knew Earth betrayed you. But this shows they did more than sell you. She nodded. They didn't just hand us over to the overseers. They helped create them. Silence. Just the hum of war above. Dane read further. He could barely breathe. The document showed test labs, code names, genetic mixing, controlled rebellions. Earth's leaders had tried to build a race, obedient, powerful, perfect, when it failed. They buried the project and left Zara's people behind, dead or enslaved. Zara whispered. They called us Alpha Flame, Project AFO1. That's what I was to them. A number. Dane turned away. He felt sick. Everything he'd believed about Earth, about peace, about who the bad guys were, cracked apart. Pix asked quietly, What do we do now, Dane? Then came the choice. A transmission buzzed. Through his communicator, a live call. From Earth. A woman's voice, cold and high. Dane Keller. This is Command Officer Rel of Earth Defense Corps. We are aware of your situation. Dane said nothing. The asset in your custody is unstable, dangerous. You are to surrender her immediately. Dane looked at Zara. She said nothing, didn't even flinch. In return, Earth will offer you full immunity, credits, clearance, a new identity. Pix whispered, shocked. They just offered you a golden ticket. Rel continued. You've done well, Dane. Now finish the job. Do your duty. Be loyal. Dane turned off the signal. His hand shook. He stared at Zara. Tell me one thing. She looked at him. If I help you. What happens to Earth? Zara walked to the edge of the tower. The sky was bleeding fire now. I won't destroy your world, Dane, she said softly, but I will show them the truth. And truth, for men like them, is worse than death. Dane closed his eyes. One path was easy. Go back, get rich, get safe. The other meant betrayal, exile, war, but it felt right. He opened his eyes. I choose you, he said. Zara blinked. Not surprised, but something in her expression softened. You may not get to choose again, she warned. Not when the overseers find out. Then let's give them something to regret. Pix buzzed again. Dane, you better see this. That carrier ship? It's not just a ship. It's a mobile lab. Same signature as the test facilities from Project AFO1. Zara's eyes turned cold. They're not just here to kill me. They want to take me back. Start again. Dane loaded his weapon. Then we end it. Now. Suddenly, a rebel scout rushed toward them, panting. They've captured our comm center. They're jamming the resistance signal. We're blind up. There. Zara grabbed the cube. I need to reach the high beacon. It can override their jamming, but I can't go alone. Dane nodded. I'm with you. Their run through the ruins was chaos. Explosions rocked the ground. Broken droids fired. From shadows. An overseer walker stepped through fire, scanning, hunting. Zara used the cube to cloak them once. Only once. When they reached the beacon tower, it was crawling with hybrid soldiers, part human, part machine. Dane hesitated. Some of them were from Earth. Zara didn't look away. They chose their chains. The final battle of the part begins here. One tower. One signal. Zara climbs the beacon while Dane covers her from below. And just when all seems lost, when backup doesn't arrive and Earth's carrier opens its weapon bay. Zara activates the signal. It tears through the sky like thunder, a sound not made by machines. But memories. Far away, across space, hidden fleets begin to move. Ships forgotten in time. Armies thought lost, and Earth's secret empire? It begins to shake. The sky had changed. The stars above no longer shimmered like lights in the dark. Now, they pulsed like something was answering. The beacon tower still burned behind them, sending Zara's signal across the galaxy. It wasn't just sound. It was memory, code, truth, and someone or something had heard it. Dane sat against a stone wall, his body bruised, his weapon empty. Picks buzzed softly. We survived. Barely, but we did. Zara stood near the edge of the cliff, eyes closed, wind in her hair. She was listening again, not with ears, with something older. They're coming, she said. Dane raised an eyebrow. Friends or enemies? She opened her eyes. Both. A few hours later, in a hidden canyon below the surface, they found the ruins of an old overseer research base built using stolen tech from Zara's world. Dane looked around. This place. It looks human. Zara didn't speak. She simply pointed at a metal door. It opened without a sound. Inside were rows of cryo-chambers. Hundreds. Each chamber contained a person. Some human. Some not. Some halfway between. Dane's heart dropped. They were experimenting, Zara nodded. This is what the overseers do. But they didn't build this science. They learned it from Earth. He stared at one chamber. Inside it, a child. Maybe 10 years old. Human, but with faint blue lines glowing beneath her skin. Dane whispered, "They made these kids into hybrids?" Zara replied, "No. Earth gave them these children in return for peace." Pix displayed a decoded file. Operation Silent Genesis. Phase 3. Genetic mixing and neural loyalty programming. Status. Ongoing. Dane's hand shook. They plan to bring these children back to Earth, Zara whispered, not as people. As soldiers. Then came the sound of boots. A patrol. Not overseers Earth. Defense soldiers, but their eyes glowed silver. Not natural. Dane pulled Zara into the shadows. They waited as the patrol passed. Zara said, "They don't think for themselves anymore. They've been reading." In the lab's core, they found a large tank filled with liquid light. Inside, a woman, not asleep, not dead. Her eyes were open. She looked just like Zara, but older. Wiser, Zara stepped forward, breath caught in her throat. Mother. The tank read, Subject AFO1, Prime Seed. Status. Locked. Pix blinked. She's not dead. Brain activity stable. But locked in a neural loop. Zara placed her palm on the glass. It shimmered. She began to speak in her old language. The lights flickered. Then, a deep hum, and the woman inside opened her mouth. Just. One word escaped, but it echoed through the lab like thunder. Awaken. Suddenly, the lab came to life. Chambers opened. Children began to breathe. Machines beeped. Lights blinked. And one by one, the stolen lives began to wake up. Dane moved. Quickly, helping those who could stand. One girl held his hand tightly. She looked up at him, afraid. Are we going home? She asked. Dane paused. We're going somewhere better. Zara's mother, still weak, looked at her daughter and smiled. I knew you would find them, she whispered, the lost ones. Zara asked, Can you fight? Her mother nodded. I was made to. But outside, the overseers had found them again, and this time, they brought a reclaimer unit, a monster machine with tentacles, sensors, weapons, and memory erasers. Dane fired a warning shot. We've got company. Zara turned to her. People, children, rebels, survivors. This is the moment, she said. We either stay buried or we rise. The children looked unsure, but Zara's mother stepped forward. She raised her hand, and from the core, a surge of blue light lifted the ground. Weapons formed in the air, not guns, but living weapons, shields of memory, blades of light, armor of thought. Each child was given one, not to destroy, but to protect. Dane stared. They were never built to kill, Zara nodded. They were built to remember. The battle began. Earth soldiers, overseer drones, giant machines, versus children, half-awake rebels, and memories from a forgotten war. And yet, they held the line. Because for the first time in years, they were fighting for themselves. Picks shouted through static. Reinforcements arriving. It's Earth's main fleet. Dane grabbed his gear. To help us? Pix paused. No, to erase everything. Zara looked up at the sky. She closed her eyes. Then whispered, then it's time the truth speaks for itself. She took the cube and placed it inside her chest. Light exploded around her. Not fire, not power, but memory. Every lie, every file, every voice, every name. BROADCASTED. To every planet, every human, every system connected to Earth. And for the first time, humanity saw itself. The truth was no longer hidden. The lies could not be erased, and the war would never be the same. The truth was out. Across the galaxy, screens lit up. In space stations, bunkers, colonies, and floating cities, the same message played. The children they took, the lies they buried, the war they hid, the price Earth paid. And the voice narrating it all was human. Dane Keller's voice. He stood now on the command deck of his ship, breathing slowly, staring at the fleet approaching from Earth. Pix whispered, they've gone silent. Not a threat yet, just watching, waiting for someone to blink. First, Dane replied, they know the game's changed. The lie isn't secret anymore. Pix beeped softly, but the ones who built the lie are still alive. Zara stood beside Dane. The cube, now fused with her body, glowed softly in her chest like a second heart. She was no longer a fugitive. She was something far more dangerous now, a symbol. Far below on the surface of her ruined world, the children were safe. Her mother led the survivors deeper underground. The rebels had scattered, each carrying fragments of the memory signal like fire. The overseer army? Broken. The reclaimer unit? Melted by light, but Earth's main fleet still hovered above them, silent, cold, powerful. Zara whispered, they fear us more now that we're unarmed. Dane watched the radar. 50 ships. Carrier class. Earth tech. Clean, perfect, and ready to erase everything. He asked quietly, you said you wouldn't destroy Earth? That true? Zara nodded. I won't destroy it, she said, but I'll make sure it can't destroy anyone else. Pix blinked. Incoming signal. Earth command. Dane took a breath. Let's hear it. A face appeared on the screen. Admiral Terran. An old man with sharp eyes and a colder voice. Dane Keller, you've committed high treason against the human race. Dane smiled slightly. Not against the human race, just the ones pretending to lead it, shut down the broadcast, surrender the asset. Zara stepped into view. Terran flinched. That thing is property of... Dane cut him off. She has a name. You lost the right to forget it. Silence. Then the Admiral sighed. You were one of us, Dane. You could have lived rich, safe. You threw it all away. Dane didn't hesitate. I didn't throw it away. I gave it back. The Admiral's image flickered out. Ships began to move. Weapons locked. Pix panicked. This is it. They're going to wipe us out. Dane reached for the controls. Zhara touched his hand. No. She walked to the front window. And stepped into the light. Outside, the ship's paused. One figure against a fleet. Zara floated upward, light trailing behind her, the memory cube now burning bright. She whispered one word. Balance. A surge of energy burst from her, not a weapon, but a wave of truth. The Earth fleet shuddered. Systems failed. AI. Cores broke. Weapons melted from the inside, but no one died. She didn't kill them. She simply showed them what they were, what they had become. On every ship, every screen lit up again. Images of the children in the tanks, the scientists, the orders, the truth. Officers wept. Some dropped their guns. Some turned off their screens in shame. No one gave the order to fire. Zara drifted back to the ship, weak now, pale. The cube inside her faded to dark. Dane caught her before she fell. She smiled faintly. It's done. Pix buzzed. The Earth fleet is retreating. Dane didn't believe it. Say that again? They're going home. Zara lay on the floor of the ship. Dane held her hand. She looked at him, eyes tired but calm. You were never a traitor, she said softly. You were just awake. Dane asked, What about you? She smiled. I was never a slave. I was a message. Her light dimmed. And then she was still. The galaxy changed after that. The Earth government collapsed within weeks. The truth was too heavy. A new alliance was born of rebels, survivors, and truth keepers. They called themselves the Remembered. Dane never went back to Earth. He stayed on the edge of known space, sometimes smuggling. Sometimes rebuilding, and sometimes watching the stars. Pix once asked him, Do you miss her? Dane didn't answer. He just looked at the old cube, now silent, black, lifeless, sitting on his ship's shelf. Waiting. Until one day it pulsed just once, and Dane smiled. The end.